We're not all talking about the same thing when we're talking about groups. And I've recently come to realize that what I talk about when I'm talking about groups is kind of counterculture to what other people mean when they say groups. I want to invite you to imagine a different ideal for what groups are. And I want to do this through breaking down what I call elevated group experiences. And so when I say groups, really what I'm talking about is these elevated group experiences. My goal in this is to help you imagine, to help you dream what your elevated group experience can be. Because when you have an elevated group experience, these are the type of groups that people want to keep coming back to, that people want to refer to, that group leaders love to lead because they truly, truly, truly have an impact for the group participants. And they keep telling people about them in a way that makes other people want to know more. And who doesn't want that for their group? I want to start by defining what an elevated group experience is. And the way I want to do this is I want to look at each of those words in that term because they each have great meaning and actually great precision. And so let's start with group because that's what, the word that we're all using, and we may have some similarities in definition in. So kind of the most general definition of a group is anytime you have like 3 or 4 people out in the market today. That doesn't seem to have a maximum. It can be, hundreds of people, thousands of people, depending on what you're doing. But there's this idea that you need at least 3 or 4 people for it to be a group. It can include a live component or no live component. It can be online, it can be in person, or it can be some kind of combination of them. It can be evergreen or like a membership or community, or it can have a start date and an end date, and there's kind of limits to when it's taking place. So as we look at that, there's so many different options for you as a group leader to say, I want to have a group. What do you really mean? And the reason you want to get precise with this is because the decisions you make about what type of group you actually have will impact your role in the group, will impact what you're selling to people, will impact your ability to build a business around it or not. So there's all these differing ideas of what a group is, and there isn't a right or wrong to this. What I want to encourage you to do and what I want to invite you to do is to get really clear about what type of group you're talking about. And I, of course, want to invite you to consider having your own elevated group experience. But before you can really consider that, you need to know more about what it is. So I first want to talk about why it's an experience, a group experience, and not a group program. So group program is probably a more common term. It's a little bit more corporate, but it is out there. Group program is out there. What I think when I hear or read the term program is really this like curriculum-based, information-based piece. And so the program is helping you to get information. Versus when I'm talking about a group experience, it truly is about an experience. This isn't just a program. This isn't just an information dump or talking heads with a crowdsourced Q&A session or, some kind of random hot seat coaching. This is truly an experience. It's something that your group participants feel. It's something that they look forward to, and it's something that they keep coming back to. So it's no more participation drop-offs. It's no more referral deserts. It's no more consistent pressure to fill the funnel, as the marketing people will say. It's taking that pressure away, and it's doing it because you are creating an experience for your participants. This is intentionally designing and leading a group through an experience, through lots of different experiences, through many experiences that make up a full experience. You're attuned to and paying attention to how your group participants feel, what they do, and what they do together. and connection is the focus. On the other side of this idea is elevated. And so what do I mean by elevated? And there's two kind of key areas that we focus on. One is tactical. And this is that there is a structure in place, not a structure that keeps you tied down or takes all your creativity away or forces you to, do things you don't want to do or forces you to do things that the group just isn't into. But it's a structure because there's a promise you're making for the outcome. There's a promise that you're making in terms of how they're going to get results and what kind of results they're going to get to. And I call that the program promise. It's the promise you're making to them. An elevated group is conscious. It's thoughtful, and most importantly, it's curated. You're not sharing everything with them. You're not having them do everything that they could possibly do. Instead, you're only having them do and learn what is most important. One of the things I say when it comes to this is do in the group what only the group can do. Meaning, if you're bringing people together for some kind of live component, whether that's online or in person, do the things that you can only do in a group. That's where you're having them connect, reflecting, working on action plans together, working on practicing the skills, implementing the ideas. The other part of this tactical piece is that you as the group leader are focused on helping them with the doing. The participants are active. They are taking action. They are making progress, and they are doing that together. The second part of elevated is that felt sense. And we're building off this idea of experience because we know that felt matters. But an elevated experience means there's higher expectations of you as the group leader and of the participants. What I mean by higher expectations isn't that you're doing more work. It's that you have done that curation. It's that you're holding the boundaries around what gets talked about, what happens. You are ensuring that action takes place. It feels different for the participants because they feel safer, they feel seen, they feel heard. It's more fun. They feel like they're part of something and they're feeling less alone. And most importantly, it works. All throughout the group experience, they are making progress. They are seeing results. And the results is the promise here. The elevation is this isn't just a whole bunch of people coming together to talk. This is a place where they will be able to get results. So as I take this, big nebulous idea of group and I add experience to it and I add elevated to it, what that means for the group is it's 6 to 16 people. We're talking about these intimate environments where people can feel seen, where you can really support people in a way that you can't once we get to those, 30, 40, hundreds of people in a group. It also means that there's a start and an end date. There's a cohort-based piece of this. And the reason for that is it's the easiest way to bring people together, to keep people together, and keep people progressing together. I always like to say, we start together, we end together. There is a live component to this. That's where that do in the group what only the group can do. So whether it's online or in person, you are bringing people together on a regular basis. People are there, they're in the room or they're there in the virtual room, and they are prepared, ready, and excited to be working together. And the last one is the program promise, a genuine promise you all keep for each other. As you think about your own group, I invite you to dream and wonder, are you creating an elevated group experience?